Hey guys, welcome back to Secret Studios. In the last video, we took a look at how mic placement can change the sound of your guitar tone. Today, we're going to be taking things a step further. We're going to be recording with multiple mics and understanding how phase comes into play. This is one of those topics that separates a clean and powerful guitar tone from one that just sounds thin and muddy. So let's break it down. For this example, I've got two mics on the same speaker. An SM57 close to the grill for bite and mid-range detail, and a Lewitt 640TS pulled back a few inches to capture more body and space. Each mic sounds great on its own, but when you combine them, that's where phase issues can creep in. Phase happens when two mics capture the same sound at slightly different times. Because sound waves move through air, the mic that's farther away hears the signal just a few milliseconds later. When those waves overlap in your DAW, some frequencies can cancel each other out. That's what gives you that hollow or scooped sound. Okay, first, let's see how these mics sound by themselves. Now here's both mics with no adjustments. Notice how it sounds really thin and scooped. So, our first thing that we could do is flip the polarity on one of the mics. So let's see how that sounds. That's a little bit closer, but that's not quite what we're looking for. The next thing that we can try is align them by hand. So, if you see here, we go to our first transient, or one of our first transients. We can see on our SM57 here that this waveform is going up, while on our Lewitt, the waveform is coming down. So to fix this, we just want to move our second mic ever so slightly to match the waveform up top. Now here's how that sounds. Much better. Also, let's undo that. What we can do is add an aligning plugin. Here I have M Auto Align. All we have to do is play a sound sample, hit Analyze, and it'll do the rest of the work for us. Magic. To avoid all of this, just try and match your mic distancing as closely as possible. You can measure from the center of the speaker cone to each mic capsule. Try to keep them equal, or at least within a 1/4 inch. If you want more resonance or room sound, sometimes it's a better idea to just pull both mics back together rather than just one. For this demo, we're going to shoot out our three main mic combinations: dynamic and ribbon, dynamic and large diaphragm condenser, and finally, large diaphragm condenser and ribbon. All mics capsules are going to be aligned parallel to each other to ensure we have a proper phase relationship between the two. Number 1, dynamic and ribbon. The typical starting point for this technique is with the dynamic pointing right at where the dust cap and the cone meet, with the ribbon pointing at the middle of the cone. This way, we can capture a lot of the body with the ribbon, but we don't have to sacrifice much mid-range bite or high end with the dynamic. Here's our dynamic. And ribbon. And both. You can hear how rich and warm the ribbon mic is in comparison to the dynamic mic. These two pair especially well when you want more smooth low end that the dynamic mic may be missing. Now for our second demo, dynamic and large diaphragm condenser. Using both a dynamic mic and a large diaphragm condenser on a guitar cab can give you the best of both worlds, the punch and focus of a dynamic and the clarity and depth of a condenser. For this demo, we're going to use the same exact placement as before, only switching the ribbon out for our condenser. Dynamic. Condenser. And both. Condensers pick up more highs and lows that dynamics often roll off. Pairing the two captures the full frequency range of the amp, from the tight low-end thump to the high-end shimmer. Now for our final demo, large diaphragm condenser and ribbon. Using a large diaphragm condenser and a ribbon mic together on an electric guitar cab can produce an incredibly rich and dimensional tone. The two mics complement each other beautifully because of how differently they capture sound. For mic placement, all we're going to do is switch out the dynamic and put the ribbon in its place between the dust cap and the cone. This should smooth things out for us a bit and give us a less aggressive but more manageable tone. Condenser. Ribbon. And both. Now let's hear these mics in different tone combinations. So to sum it up, keep your mic distances consistent. Use phase flip switches or track alignment if it sounds thin. And most importantly, trust your ears, not your eyes. Phase is one of those invisible problems that can make or break your tone. But once you learn to hear it, you'll never forget what it sounds like. If this helped you out, stick around for more recording deep dives. I have upcoming videos on acoustic guitar, reamping, bass, drums, vocals, and many more, right here at Secret Studios. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next session.